Hi, Michael Tillinger here. This is an important message for the people that are concerned about their national debt. I know that the USA's national debt is around $34 trillion. Now, that is an insane amount of money. In anybody's mind, and you think about it, you think, okay, we're doomed, we're screwed, we're never getting out of this. Well, that is not necessarily the case. The only reason people think like that is because they don't know what money is, how it was created, who controls it, and how we can get out of this debt. So let me share with you how to get out of a $34 trillion debt in 30 seconds flat. Okay, make it 60 seconds flat. And it goes something like this. Ring, 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 ring. Hello, is that the chairman of the Fed? Yes, it is. Hi, this is the President of the United States. I'd just like to notify you that as of tomorrow, we'll no longer be borrowing money from your institution. Because it's weird, but we figured out how to use a printing press. And we decided we're going to print our own money for a people's bank that issues money for the people, interest-free and tax-free, for everything we need to do so we can build up our economy and our roads, our infrastructure, our schools and education and healthcare and everything we need, farms, agriculture. So we're going to start printing money for that and make that money available to all the people in our country that are doing things to build our country and our economy. So we no longer need to borrow money from you for which we need to pay you back with interest. I trust you understand that. So there's no hard feelings really, but we now know how a printing press works after all these years. So please be sure to vacate the offices, because as of tomorrow we're going to be putting our own the People's Bank employees into that building of yours. Please vacate it by in the next 24 hours. And thanks for everything. And by the way, about that $34 trillion debt that we have with you for some reason, forget about it. That's it. So please realize this. Any leader in any country can do this right now. It'll take 60 seconds to cut off the Fed or the central bank and implement the People's Bank. Anyone that has a problem with this, how to cancel a $34 trillion debt in the way that I've just described, clearly doesn't understand what money is, where it comes from, who controls it, and how we can take control of that supply of money ourselves. Any president, any prime minister, any leader in any country in the world can do what I've just demonstrated to you in 60 seconds. There's nothing stopping our leaders from doing that. The only reason they're not doing that is because either they're ignorant, or they just haven't figured it out, or they're scared that they'll be assassinated or taken out. Because by now you should know that our central banks are private institutions controlled by the global Rothschild banking empire that controls all the central banks around the world. They have the exclusive right to create money for the different countries. If anybody else starts to create money, they go to jail or to prison for life. So if we as the people of a country, through our appointed leader, decide we no longer want to borrow money from the so-called central bank or Fed, we can choose to do that. And we create our own People's Bank and start issuing money for ourselves. It's been done several times in the past with great success. But every time it's been done with great success, the leader that initiated that initiative very soon after that was either assassinated or had an unfortunate accident, and then the Fed and the central bank started to create and issue the money again. So it's up to our leaders and the people to put the pressure on our leaders to shut down the central banks and create people's banks that create money for our people, by the people, which will always be tax-free and interest-free, because we can create as much money as we need to build our countries up. That's what money should be used for. That's how it should be created, so that there's never, ever a shortage of money for anything, and never, ever any kind of debt, because debt is a fictional idea. So any leader or prime minister or president of any country can do this. They can cut off the Fed or the central bank with a 60-second phone call and launch a People's Bank where money is created by the people, for the people, always tax-free, always debt-free, always interest-free. And there should never, ever be a shortage of money for things we need to do for ourselves, to build our countries, build our economies, to build our agriculture, our healthcare, our technology. Anything we need for ourselves should be always possible because we create the money we need for our own communities, our own countries, and our own governments to fund everything we need. Think about this and start putting pressure on your local governments. Until next time, this is Michael Tellinger. Bye for now.